Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The last great Coliseum in motorsports, the Half Mile Oval in Tennessee. And for week number 4 of Apex Sim Racing, we're coming to you live from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the Apex Sim Racing Cup Series, live on V-Speed. Things are about to get really good as we go short track racing in the daytime. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. All season long, we'll be covering this event. Apex Sim putting on a fantastic first 3 weeks, and we come up here on week number 4. If there's any tempers, if there's any bad blood, it's going to be settled here. It is impossible to escape one another, as this racetrack, founded back in 1960, has stayed the same. The only thing they've added to it is grandstands. It's been a concrete surface since its inception. And here today, we're going to find out what the iRacing service is like around this 0.53 miles of 30 degrees banking. It's been compared to a gymnasium with cars inside of it. Take a look at our schedule, and it's week 4. We go on to Darlington next week, another tight grooved, unique racetrack. That track just over a mile. And then we have a track just under a mile in Iowa on the 30th to finish out March. We go on to Dover, Charlotte, Nashville, and Talladega to finish out our regular season. And then our 5-race playoff begins May 18th. As you can see, they're all the way down to championship night at Homestead. So 3 races completed. Phoenix Raceway did not disappoint either. A lot of drivers back and forth. We had some tempers flare up there. Some drivers maybe not getting the finishes that they deserved in that race. But overall, it's Eddie Smith who takes over the points lead by 12 points over Chuck Stevens. Cody Bame falls out of that points lead back to 3rd. Garrett Kender, after his win, is in 4th position. We have 3 different winners this season. Dylan Bates trying to find his way back to victory lane as well. Will it come here, or is it somewhere in the near future? Quite a few fast drivers, but winless here with Eddie Smith. He is leading the points, and I can guarantee you Eddie Smith is fast at this racetrack. So if there's a chance of a victory, it could come right here at Bristol. Race analysis up on your screen. It will be 150 laps here today. Stage lap at lap 45. 35-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit. A very unique pit road as they will be pitting on the front and back straightaway here. We have enough cars to do that, and not enough pit stalls on that front stretch for all 27 of these cars that are trying to start here tonight. So we will see drivers have to pick and choose their prime moment to get to pit road. It's going to be rather difficult as you can lose track of the front and back stretch. This track very symmetrical and very many times we've seen here on V-Speed, guys will come down the wrong entry on pit lane and get a pass-through penalty. It's happened to me personally. So 2 green-white checkers and 70% fuel here today on the iRacing Fix setup. Should get about 125 laps of fuel roughly here tonight. So we will be just short of that finish. It's guaranteed they're going to have to come down pit road for at least one stop here today. But the likelihood of them staying green, well, you know it here on V-Speed. We've seen it here before. It's tight groove racing. You're going to be side by side, nose to tail the whole time. It's going to be rather difficult to stay off one another. But with that, it's time to go track side and get the grid up on your screen. Starting grid here presented by American Grit Apparel Co. I'd like to apologize to them for last week, but we have it up this week. Starting on the pole here tonight with a 14.433, it's Jesse Whittington in the number 94. He beats Dylan Bates by almost a half a tenth of a second, 0.05 of a second ahead. To be exact, probably 71 hundredths of a second. I think that's quick math. I think that pans out. Row number 2 goes to Eric Tracy and AJ Rogers in the 88. Cody Bame and Noah Carmen will start 5th and 6th position. Then you have Tracy Passons, Garrett Kinder, a winner here in the series in these 3 races. Elliot Carlson and Christian Dedman. Dedman, one of those drivers that probably deserved a better finish than he got at Phoenix, looking to redeem himself here in week number 4. Row number 6 goes to Christopher Henner. Kieran Church will start in 12th. 13th position goes to Rick Rube. Brandon Wallace in the 99 and 14th. 15th, Jason Lottridge. Aaron Adcock, the league owner. He'll start in 16th position. There's Chuck Stevens in 2nd in points. He'll start 17th here today. And your leader in points right next to him, Eddie Smith, starting in 18th with a 14.730. Josh Oswald and Davey Jones will start in row number 10. And 8 cars left to talk about with Daniel Holcroft and Chuck Feltz starting 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Chris McLean, Dana Shepard in 24th, 25th, Ray Rogers, Alan Smith. These drivers electing not to take a time in qualifying. Matt Rogers and Anthony Edrington in 28th position here tonight. We're rolling around for our 2 pace laps here today. Whittington going to lead them into turn 1. He has Dylan Bates looking for his 2nd win of the season. Jesse Whittington, another one of those drivers that was having success at Phoenix, but I believe was under the weather during that event. It wasn't last week, it was the week before that, but he was definitely running a fever, wasn't feeling the greatest. Was not in the Discord to pull him up into the broadcast booth, but it looks like maybe this week we'll have an opportunity. Maybe not feeling any better as he's out here on the racetrack. We're not seeing a Jesse Whittington in the Discord, so hopefully he's feeling a little bit better as we get set to tee off week number 4. Apex Sim Racing about to be underway. Pace car will pull off this time around. And here we go for 150 laps. Green flag is out and Apex Sim Cup Series underway. Oh, and Cody Bain loses does it here on the front stretch. Tears the left front off the car. No caution, will stay green, but that car is broken. He can't steer it anymore. Not the start that he wanted. And he's going to have to pull it down pit road. Right out of the gate, we come down the front stretch for lap 1. He gets loose off of turn 4 to the inside wall. And here on our J.K. Kinder Ranch, Farm and Ranch, wreckage, rewind, loses control here. And down pit road does have that fast repair. Dylan Bates took the lead away from your pole sitter right away on the start. Just shot out of a cannon, and Jesse Whittington has been looking to get it back ever since. He'll look to the inside now. Nothing there on that Velocity 91. He'll look again to the inside. Side by side for the top spot, down the backstretch. And we'll get a look here from our chopper camera. 91 prevails, 88 to the outside of A.J. Rogers. He's up 2 positions, started back in 4th spot. He'll take it to the outside of the 94. Just behind him, you have some cars up in the wall. I believe that's the 14 of Noah Carmen that just tagged the wall, the 53 of Tracy Passons. On board with the 53 car. And Passons in that button up right now. That's got to be overheating him. I don't know how he's able to do that. As we're looking 3 wide for the top spot right now. Just a moment there, we saw 3 wide. A glimpse by the 88 of Rogers on the outside of Bates. And that allowed Jesse Whittington to get back up to 2nd spot. 88 tagged the wall there. He'll get back to the right rear quarter. Whittington holds on. So they compare it to a gymnasium with cars in it. I compare it to throwing shoes in the dryer. This track will beat you up. You are continuously turning, braking, adjusting, micro corrections all over this racetrack, and it's hot today. Weather up on your screen, 99 degrees on a concrete surface. It is very slippery out there, and you can see trying to keep that car on the bottom for Jesse Whittington has proven difficult as Dylan Bates pulls away. 88 takes over the 2nd spot. Passons to the outside, or inside rather, of the 67 of Eric Tracy. That was for the top 5 and into the wall for Passons. Wasn't clear, came up across the nose of the 13 of Kinder. We'll go back on our V-Speed instant replay, the wreckage rewind. You'll see right here, he gets to the inside of the 67. Doesn't get clear. And the very next turn, it looks like Kinder comes, well, he had no room to go. There was no room left. Deeper in this field, though, a driver that's worked up 6 spots already, Eddie Smith. I said he was going to be bad fast tonight. Well, that proves it right there in 17 laps, 6 positions. And he's working on cracking the top 10. He's in 12th right now in the 87. See the 24 of Christopher Henner. He gets by on the outside. That's Cody Bame, who went 2 laps down. He did use a fast repair. The car's back in tip-top shape. Unfortunately for him, though, he loses a lot of ground, and he's waiting for a caution to come out that hasn't happened. Back here with another Velocity Motorsports driver, I believe, with Jason Lottridge. He has about 9/10 of a second, almost a full second back from Eddie Smith in 13th position. Davy Jones getting passed by the 1 of Josh Oswald. Ray Rogers side by side. He'll get by Daniel Holdcroft for 16th. Deeper in this field, it's still a hornet's nest. 20 laps complete already here in Tennessee. In the top 5, top 6, still right on top of each other, all within a second. Starting to migrate up the racetrack as well. Outside line looks like it's working enough for the 88 of Rogers, but that will burn more fuel. We were talking about 125 laps roughly. He'll lose a couple. It's not going to hurt him overall. I think this is a one-stop race. If we stay green, so far so good. As we come up on lap 25. Jesse Whittington still, oh, contact in the back here. Garrett Kinder. And Kinder's around the 53 of Passons into the wall. And caution is out. Tracy Passons, an innocent bystander there. He is collected in our first yellow at lap 26. Right there, you catch the tail end of this incident. We'll back it up even further. The 99 of Brandon Wallace, nowhere to go. There's the contact between Kinder and the 14 of Noah Carmen. And just nowhere to go for these guys behind. We'll ride on board here with the 99. He sees it happening. He's on the brakes. He's still on the brakes, trying to get this thing wound up. Just not enough. So down pit road for the 99. A few drivers electing to stay out. Noah Carmen did come down pit road and get some of that damage repaired. Eddie Smith came into pits as well. 4 tires and a full tank of fuel for the 87. Brandon Wallace gets his damage repaired. Some of it repaired. Christian Dedman also with a little bit of damage. And Cody Bain should be the lucky pass recipient. He is, and he will have 1 lap. So he is the only car a lap down here at Bristol. Lights should go out on the pace car this time by. We will rack them back up double file. Looks like the 99 of Bates is going to choose the outside that he naturally had at the start of this race, and it panned out well. It worked out exactly the way he had planned. The flashing lights turn off here on lap 29. We'll go back green on lap 30. Coming up on a quarter of a way through this race. Nice stint of green flag racing. Still, you have to wonder, with racking them back up on older tires, how would this pan out? Bates is going to have to get an excellent restart as you look back at this field of 28 cars. Pace car out of the way. Apex, second time at Bristol. Green flag is out. And another quick shot out of the cannon here. Excellent move here by Dylan Bates to choose the outside. Eric Tracy up to second position. Here comes Jesse Whittington to the inside of the 88 again. They're starting on the pole. He has not led a single lap here today. Tough break so far for the 94 team. Dylan Bates continues to pull out that lead. It's over half a second on lap 35. will come across the stripe to start that lap now. They tick away relatively quickly. Last time by a 14.791. Fastest car on the racetrack is the 91 of Dylan Bates. Meanwhile, deeper in this field, you got Aaron Adcock, Christopher Henner, 7th and 8th position. Up 8 spots here for the 17. Most positions gained go to this driver, Ray Rogers, from 25th up to 9th. 16 positions in that short amount of time. Still seeing that side-by-side up there for the 3rd position. Whittington still hasn't been able to clear on the 88. And while this is happening, Eric Tracy is starting to pull away. He's losing ground to the lead, but he's pulling away from these guys. Side-by-side ends now. And here comes Kinder to the inside for the 5th position. He picked up a little bit of damage from that last incident, but continues to stay out. As long as the steering's still good on this car, he stands a chance, and he will get up into the top 5. Tags the wall a little bit there through 1 and 2. Side by side behind that, it's Ray Rogers going to the inside. Aaron Adcock on the high line. A little contact there with the 51. On board with the 17. A quarter of the way done here from Bristol, Tennessee. Battles on this racetrack with Matt Rogers trying to get around the 96, or actually Noah Carmen going around the 96, the 5 of Chris McLean. So 2 spots lost there for Matt Rogers. They will lose another one here as he gets into the wall. The 2 of Daniel Holcroft to the bottom. Lottridge side by side. Goes by on the outside of Dana Shepard. And just behind him, Stevenson by for 12th position. Is out for the stage. You almost caught me off guard. Stage winner, though, right here, Dylan Bates, getting stage number 1, top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen. And congratulations to Dylan Bates and the number 91. He'll bring him down pit road. And we'll wrap back around the front straightaway. Stage number 1 complete as the 91 goes left, sides up. 77 really close here out of pit road. But it's Rogers. Smith. Eddie Smith stays out here. He came in and got 4 tires earlier in this run. About 27 lap difference on this stint. And he finds himself up to the lead. Don't go anywhere. We have more coverage continuing. Apex Sim Racing Cup Series action from Bristol on V-Speed right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here live at Bristol. You haven't missed much. We just took the green flag, but what you did miss was Dylan Bates getting to the inside of Eddie Smith, who stayed out after that caution for the stage. Stage 1 goes to the 91 of Bates, and oh my goodness, a bunch of contact, and Bates into the outside wall. He drifts it and saves it. Incredible driving by the 91 of Bates, but he's probably not happy with Eddie Smith. We need to go back and unpack this. Smith gets a run on the outside. Well, Smith had the run, and Bates came up across his nose. I don't think he was quite clear there. We'll back this up one more time. It's not a good angle. We'll try to get it from the chopper camera. Take a look at it from this angle. Maybe we get a better look at it. But yeah, Smith has a run, but Bates is clear. That is a tough call. Great save, though. Oh, and we got trouble in front of him. Caution is out. And it's the 96, I believe. 81 of Rick Rube also involved. The 96 heavy damage, Elliott Carlson in the 09. And just like that, on lap 57, we're back under yellow. This is on board with Elliott Carlson. Other drivers doing a great job. Rube actually avoided this entirely. But there's the 24 off the wall to cause this. That's Christopher Henner. And we'll watch on board with the 24. Just like that, we go back under caution. Drivers came down pit road, so I think this is a chance here to pull up Dylan Bates. Dylan Bates, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, Dylan, great save there. I got to say, that was an excellent drive to save that car, but how did you feel there coming off of turn 4? How did you feel about that?
I don't feel too good about it, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure what that was all about. He was on 10, 15 lap older tires than us, and I just went up and took his lane, and he never took a attempt to cross me over, get underneath me or anything, and just wrecked us. So I don't really understand that, but guess we'll keep digging, see if we can get back up there.
25th position, you started up front, but you shouldn't have much of a problem getting back up there. This car looks bad fast tonight.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, good luck out there, and maybe we'll get to talk to you for your second win.
10-4, appreciate it.
Stage 1 winner, Velocity Motorsports driver Dylan Bates, getting ready to restart here from 25th position. So Eddie Smith is the leader now. He has Jesse Whittington to the inside. He also has the 88 of AJ Rogers, the 13 of Garrett Kinder. But Eddie Smith not making any friends out here early. We'll have to wait and see how it all pans out here on lap 61 as we go back green. Race recap with 3 lead changes and 3 cautions, 2 of those being official cautions. And here goes Eddie Smith into turn 1. Whittington already on the bottom, looks to the inside, Kinder into the wall. Kinder's actually able to get to the outside as the 94 Whittington got a little bit loose there through the exit of turn 2. He'll fall back in line, looking back here deeper in the field, some side-by-side with the 14, the 75, and the 78. And there's Passage, who got caught up in the first one, 14, who got caught up in the second one. Had a couple incidents here tonight that did not bring out the yellows. We stayed green with the 78. He got loose. He's going to get loose again. Car in the wall just ahead of him. They're 3 wide here at Bristol. Kieran Church got a piece of the wall. Alan Smith also falling back. It is a hornet's nest, and the caution is out. Elliot Carlson involved in another one here with the leaders. Back on the replay has the 77 of Edrington behind him. Contact coming out of turn 2, sideways for the 09. Loops it around, locks it down. And this happens just in front of Eddie Smith. And he comes back up on the racetrack. Carlson almost takes Eddie Smith out. Back this up one more time. Right on board with the 87. Here's the contact. He locks it down on the inside. That's what you want to do here. And he doesn't want to go a lap down, and so he pulls up on the racetrack. Smith has to make evasive maneuvers, and as does the rest of the field. So the over and under on cautions, I talked to some of these drivers in the pre-race. They said the number was 7. But we'll exclude the stage break. But we're at 4, so 3 official. We only have 4 more to go. Coming up on that halfway point here from Bristol. Dylan Bates looking to get his way back to the front as he had a little bit of a get-together with Eddie Smith early in this race. Halfway through here at Bristol, more coverage of Apex Sim Racing Cup Series right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to our coverage. Apex Sim Racing Cup Series action from the short track, Bristol, Tennessee. We're on board here with AJ Rogers, who's restarting just behind Eddie Smith. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. Eddie Smith under fire from Garrett Kinder. Already has a win this season. And the 13 car with that left front damage doesn't seem to be hindering the Kinder machine at all. Coming up on exactly the halfway mark, Cody Bame, who spun out to start off lap 1, is just outside the top 10. Eric Tracy sideways. And Tracy loses it. Everyone able to avoid it? No. We have another car involved. It's the 19. And they were squeezing through there like a cheese grater to try to avoid that. But the 19 car of Christian Deadman trying to find a closed pit. Back this up a little bit more to take a look at what happened to the 67. He's coming out of turn 4 where this happens. It's a little bit loose right here. Overcorrection. Slides it sideways. Locks it down as best as he can. Man, the 19, we got to go on board with him. You're going to see quite a few drivers get skinny right here. The 19, unfortunately, runs into the back. I believe that was the 3 of Alan Smith that he ran into the back of from the chopper camera. So Eddie Smith continues to hold on to the lead there. We'll try to find the 19 Deadman. Doesn't appear that Deadman is in the Discord here tonight. Yes, he is. So we'll check in here. I think we're doubling back up. We'll leave Deadman alone for now. He's getting damage repaired there. Very short cautions here. It is very difficult to hit a replay button and pull a driver up. I know that we have opportunities to talk to these drivers during these cautions. It's a lot easier at Talladega, I can give you that, as we get set to go back green on lap 78. Past the halfway mark, and Eddie Smith in the lead. 91 of Dylan Bates back up to 13th here. Side by side behind these two. As Kinder got to the back bumper, he'll look to the inside for the lead. Gets loose off of 4. And how about this? Almost into the top 5 for Chris McLean. He'll look to the high line here on the 8 car. Velocity Motorsports driver Jason Lottridge. VMS on the prowl, pushing through this top 5. I want to say 5 out of the 10 cars in the top 10. Dylan Bates looked to the inside there briefly on Aaron Adcock. It's actually 4, and trouble between teammates, and the 91 of Dylan Bates is involved. Problems between teammates down the front stretch. And that's going to bring out another yellow here today. We're at 6. backs him up with Aaron Adcock, Chuck Stevens, the 53 of Passon's also involved. But let's go up front and figure out what happened to the 78 car. He's already had to burn his fast repair tonight. He's going to get to the inside of Poman Motorsports driver Chris McLean, who had cracked the top 5 here. McLean gets sideways, takes him to the inside, and nowhere to go for everyone else. On board with Chuck Stevens. We're going to get a quick word here with Cody Boehm in the number 78 machine. Cody, this race has not been kind to you thus far.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's been a rough one right here, but, you know, it's kind of one of those races that we kind of expect things to not go our way. Bristol has been proven to be a rough racetrack. Are the tempers flaring out there tonight?
My tempers have about hit a boiling point here, but, you know, I screwed myself in the beginning, no doubt, and then, I don't know, the 5 car bounced it off the wall and took us out. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but it just pisses me off, man.
I understand that entirely, but try to get some damage repaired. I know you had to burn that fast repair on that first one. A little mistake. This car looks like it's a little bit of a handful here tonight.
Yeah, these cars kind of suck, and this track kind of sucks anymore since they reconfigured it, so it is what it is.
Well, I'll put you back down there in Velocity Motorsports. Try to stay locked in. You never know what could happen here.
Thank you.
Cody Boehm, Velocity Motorsports driver, had the points lead here briefly as we're doubled back up with Eddie Smith and AJ Rogers, Josh Oswald, Jason Lottridge, and Dana Shepard into the top 5 for the 44 first time tonight as we get set to go back green. Pace car out of the way. A lot of damaged front ends, as you can see through this field. Back underway. And Eddie Smith wastes no time. The one car, though, of Josh Oswald does take full advantage. He'll get around his teammate and take it to the outside of the 88 car. He's going to get around 2 teammates and take it up to 2nd position on this restart. Maybe he has some offense. And remember, this is Dylan Bates' teammate. Look to the inside again. Lap 90 coming up. Eddie Smith has led for 42 of the 90 laps that we're about to complete. About to be 43 of those 90 complete. As he'll come off of turn 4. Older tires here. 20 lap difference to Josh Oswald. Ray Rogers, Carmen, in the wall. He fell out of the top 5. He is slowly losing positions. Noah Carmen to the inside of the 44, the 22. Here comes Kieran Church to the outside, the 67 of Eric Tracy. Spots being lost left and right here for the 14 car. A little bit of a blinking issue there for the 91. Hard competitive racing. Kevin Kinder, I have used everything you said in the chat here tonight. Keep the one-liners coming. Cars into the wall with the 5 of Chris McLean. McLean bounced the wall earlier, got into Cody Boehm. Boehm not very happy with it. And caution is out. Looks like Rick Rube involved. Backwards out of turn 2. I think this is a couple different cars in this incident. We'll back this up to get confirmation on our wreckage rewind. Aaron Adcock to the inside. 81, a little bit of net code there. Not on Aaron Adcock at all. Would definitely chalk that one up to just a little bit of a connection bubble. Sometimes that happens on the iRacing service. Unfortunately, when it does happen, it can take some cars out. Watch right here. There's some contact. That is not netcode. That is definite contact. That is Aaron Adcock saying, I'm faster, let me by. But here to the inside, that is netcode. You can see the gap there between these two cars, and we'll ride on board with the 17. You're going to see this contact. You're going to see this contact that doesn't happen. And unfortunately for Aaron Adcock, that means he too is going to have to burn this fast repair. And we have a moment to bring another driver up into the broadcast booth. So we are going to pull the 17 of Aaron Adcock. It looked like a lot of contact there, maybe trying to get around that machine in the 81, but the net code, that's what I want to chalk that up to on that one.
I got you. Yeah, I didn't know what happened. I just knew I saw him kind of high, and I dove it down to the bottom to get around, and next thing I know, I was spinning. I was like, man, I didn't think, you know, I thought we had a whole lot more room than that. So I hadn't had a chance to look at it and see what happened, but if it was my fault, I'm sorry. If it wasn't, oh well.
Well, on my screen, it looked like net code. There was some contact prior to that a couple of times, but in the words of Denny Hamlin, that's short track racing.
Yeah, it's Bristol, baby.
Well, so far we've had, we're approaching that over and under that I was talking about earlier. And we'll subtract one for that stage break, but good luck here, Aaron, and I know that it's been rough, but hopefully you can get back up front.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. We're going to try.
Homemade Motorsports driver Aaron Adcock about to take the green flag here from Bristol. So Eddie Smith, his teammate, up front with the one of Oswald to the inside. Into the Geico restart zone we go. 7 cautions, 3 lead changes from Bristol here tonight. And Eddie Smith on older tires, we're talking about 72 laps on this stint, probably around 50 under green, 45 to 50. No one has contested him, and he pulls out to half a second. Josh Oswald gets to the inside of Lottridge. So you're looking off the back end of Eddie Smith. He continues to lead this race. 52 laps led. That's half of the laps completed here. And a Shepard to the outside of Derek Kinder. Kinder with that damage still not slowed down. Shepard also with a little bit of front end damage. A matter of who can handle it better. 51 of Ray Rogers into the top 10. He started back in 25th. This driver has been gaining positions all race long. We talked about him earlier. Now it's 18 spots gained up to 7th. Their pole sitter Jesse Whittington to the inside here. And Dana Shepard, the biggest gainer right now with 19 spots gained, but I think he's going to lose a position to the 51 here soon enough if Whittington can get clear. Meanwhile, we have a battle for the lead heating up. Eddie Smith down to 0.2 of a second. Very quickly how Josh Oswald has caught up. He's finding the weak spot. He's going to press on it. Middle line through 3 and 4 across the stripe. Loses a little bit of time there on that exit, but Smith onto the wall, riding that safer barrier. Kinder still trying to get around for 3rd position. He got clear of Whittington. He's trying to take 3rd away. Car around in the background. That's Chris McLean. Caution is out. And we're at our mark of 7 cautions here today. '88 involved as well of Shepard. I apologize, it's not Shepard. the 88 machine of Rogers. You got the aftermath of this. I'm not sure exactly. The 84 got a piece of it as well. There must have been multiple incidents. We're going to have to unpack all this. A lot going on. Here's the 88. He gets into the 91. There's the 84. This all starts way ahead of this marker. The 5 in McLean across the nose, and this happens after the fact. Passons, Bates, Kieran Church, Chuck Stevens, and I'm not sure who that was behind Chuck Stevens. It looks like the 10 machine, Davy Jones, all involved in this. Nowhere to go. Davy Jones crawling down pit road. As we approach 40 laps to go here from Bristol, it has been eventful. The short track tempers are flaring for the Apex Sim Cup Series. More coverage here on V-Speed of the last great Coliseum right after a word from our sponsors.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Green flag is out. We're back underway with 39 laps to go. Hinder going on offense after Eddie Smith. And this difference in tires is starting to take over as the caution comes out. I think Kinder had it. He will be the command car. Caution is out though. And it looks like Rick Rube gets another one. He's here for the 81 car. He's down on the apron. And he's actually coming back on off of pit road. We'll go back green. This happens relatively quickly. Bates to the inside of the Raptor 24 of Chris Henner. And the caution comes out. Not entirely sure where this starts. Nonetheless, it puts us over the mark. 9 cautions, 4 lead changes. Garrett Kinder takes over the top spot. Here at Kinder, it's Brantley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, it took you a while, but you finally found the weak spot. You pressed on it quite a few times. You take over the lead here with about 40 to go. It's going to be about 30 to go when we go back green.
Yeah, car's feeling pretty good. I think I fit at the right time for tires. Was able to take advantage of them. A couple guys got on my way and got me up to second. And luckily, I had a nose out in front whenever that caution flew, so got me up here in front of Eddie, and we're going to try and hold on to it.
You will be the command car for this restart, but so far, so good. Looking for that second win here in just 4 weeks. What are the odds?
Bristol's been good to me in the past, but I know there's a lot of skilled drivers here, so I'm not going to start counting chickens till they hatch.
All right, well, good luck out there as we double back up. We'll have just over 30 laps to go here from Bristol. Maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race for a second time.
All right, sounds good, Park.
Man Motorsports driver Garrett Kinder in the number 13 as his teammate to the outside. Jesse Whittington, Eric Tracy Passons, Ray Rogers, Matt Rogers, Brandon Wallace, Aaron Adcock, and Daniel Holcroft. The top 10. Green flag is out. Back underway at Bristol, and a great shot here for the 13. And Eddie Smith on those older tires is about to be under fire from a lot of cars. The 67 of Eric Tracy, who was looking inside. Not enough there. Wall ride for Eddie Smith. But you have a 30-40 lap difference on tires this time. These drivers are hungry. Smith in the wall out of 4. And that was Brandon Wallace, who was sideways out of turn 4. He holds on to it, has the 2 of Holcroft to the outside as they come by for lap 120. A lot going on here as Daniel Holcroft hit the wall. He loses 2 positions. Now has a 77 of Edrington. Here comes Noah Cartman in the outside wall as well. Out of 4, it is chaos back here with just over 25 left. Will we go into overtime? Jesse Whittington is trying to clear Eddie Smith. He can't do it. Smith holding on to second position. Smith in the wall. Off the back bumper and a caution is out. Smith loses another spot and Christopher Hinner has found a way upside down. Car sideways, and that's what did it right there. Chuck Belts. Nowhere to go, gets into both of them. And Christopher Hinner upside down on the inside. Back this up a little bit more. On board with the 75. Chuck Feltz. Oh, we have another opportunity here to talk to a driver. We'll make sure that we're not getting the 1-to-go signal on that iRacing pace car. I think we might be this time around. Yes, we will. Into turn 1, so we'll leave Chuck Feltz where he is right now. I'll have him on standby. Maybe get a word with him in just a moment. 22 laps to go when we go back green. Some drivers that came down pit road this last time. Elliott Carlson came down. Brandon Wallace, Chuck Belts, Daniel Holcroft, Alan Smith, Edrington. They're going to have about 30 lap to 40 lap fresher tires. Eddie Smith, the oldest tires on the racetrack, 101 laps as we hit the green flag. Hinder looking to get his second win. Whittington looking to take it away. Tracy on the outside, second spot, battle, and caution is out. Davy Jones is around. And Dylan Bates' luck continues here tonight. They get into one another. Let's see if we can look at it from our chopper cam. And the 10 comes down into the side of the 91. Well, now we have an opportunity. We're going to pull the driver of the number 75 up into the broadcast booth. It's Chuck Feltz. You got a copy? Chuck Feltz, you got a copy up in the broadcast booth?
Yeah, I got a copy. What's up?
Well, just a caution ago, you had a car up over its lid over your roof, and looks like this race has been turbulent for a lot of drivers, yourself included.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened right there. I really don't have anything for the broadcast. I'm going into the corner on the high side, and I got turned. Different brake points. I get it. I'm not going to blame anybody. I don't really even know what happened there.
Well, it looked like the 8 car got loose coming off the exit of the corner. Jason Lottridge recorrected it across your nose, took you up to the outside wall, and then the 24 was of Hinner was just to your outside, and that's what sent him up over the wall.
Yeah, I know the previous one, but I'm talking about the one that we're on right now. I don't know what happened. I was going the corner, and all of a sudden, I'm trying to catch the wheel, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, that one looked like just some miscommunication between a couple cars. Dylan Bates was involved with that, the 10 of Davy Jones, but we're doubled back up. Chuck Feltz, anybody you want to shout out while we have you in the booth?
Yeah, definitely you and B-Speed for you guys, definitely, and Apex and Jimmy and all my teammates. I mean, mad respect to all you guys.
Chuck Feltz going to restart here in 16th position. We still have some racing left to be done. Jesse Whittington will be the command car. I believe Kinder, no, I think Kinder might have it here on the outside. I think he maintained this lead. The 94 was never able to clear Eddie Smith, and it looks like he's going to have him to his outside again on this restart. 17 laps to go from Bristol. Smith falls back to third. Whittington going on offense now, trying to get around the 13, and caution is out again. Alan Smith is around. Smith comes up across the nose. We're trying to get an idea of what happened. He comes up across the 77 of Edrington. Alan Smith, who elected not to take a qualifying time here today. He's been in the top 10, but now deep in this field, 18th, 19th position. We have drivers coming down pit road. Matt Rogers in the 96, Noah Carmen as well. Josh Oswald also on pit road with Tracy Passons. And here comes the 53. You also have Eric Tracy in there. I apologize. That is not Eric Tracy. You have the 84 of Chuck Stevens, who's on pit road with heavy, heavy damage. And maybe race ending as he is 29 laps down. The battles continue. We are definitely over our mark here today. But it's been eventful. 4 lead changes, 12 cautions here today. Track temperature has come down a little bit, about 8 degrees. Ambient air 68. Still greasy out there. And on these older tires, you're going to find out if these drivers can hold on to it. As the lights go out on the pace car, we're going to have just over 10 laps to go for Garrett Kinder to possibly get his second win of the season. Jesse Whittington had a couple opportunities last week at Phoenix. Race did not end the way he wanted it to. Has another opportunity after starting on the pole here today. Has to get a good restart. As the pace car pulls off out of turn 4 for what could be the final time today. Green flag is out from Bristol into turn 1. Kinder gets a great restart. Tracy to the high line. The Luke Haley music, 94, loose off of turn 4. Eddie Smith back to 4th position as Tracy got a great restart. The top 3 on the same stint of tires. I take that back. Whittington, 10 lap older, will complete a lap under green. We got a lap car in the 77 of Edrington down to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side back here with the 51 and the 5. Are in the wall, that's Smith. Smith is trying to hold on. Kinder continues to lead. Whittington not taking offense, but the 13 into the wall. They are taking the Chastain line. This is almost like Darlington. Everyone up near the wall. Kinder holds on to it. 6 laps to go from Bristol. Possible second win here for the 13 car. Jesse Whittington looking for his first one. Count out Eric Tracy. Don't count out Ray Rogers. Looks to the inside. Nothing there. 5 to go. And now Whittington doing everything he can just to get to the inside of the 13 car. That's a run off of turn 4. 4 laps to go. And just like that, it will be 3 laps left. Whittington running out of time. He'll dive to the inside. A deep sin here into 1 and 2. And the caution's out. Whittington will be the command car. Brendan Wallace out of turn 4 is sideways. Chuck Phelps has the 99 across his nose. I believe the 99 comes up there on the exit of that corner. We'll back this up one more time. Look at it from the chopper camera. There's contact before that point. Phelps kind of pinches him down into the entry of that corner. It's up to the 99 to keep it down there at that point. Comes up the racetrack a little bit. And just like that, we're going to go into overtime. The clouds have come out here at Bristol. Complete cloud cover for what could be our final restart of the day. You are watching Apex Sim Racing. We're going to go into overtime at Bristol in race number 4. Don't go anywhere. The action will continue right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Overtime attempt number 1 about to be underway as we come back live just in time. 2 laps to go from Bristol, and Jesse Whittington took over the lead just before that caution came out. Can Garrett Kinder get to his inside with a send? He'll try it here, but white flag in the air. We make it official one more time around. And Jesse Whittington in that clean air is going to pull away from the 13. Tracy is going to get 3rd, and just behind him, it's side by side, deeper in this field. Jesse Whittington, your winner in race number 4 at Bristol. And a green-white checker doesn't seem like enough here at Bristol. They should extend it by 6 laps. It gets going. It's just now building up the momentum. The white flag comes out, and Jesse Whittington finds a way. He dove to the inside. He became the command car for this restart. And the 94 is going to burn it down. Didn't even wait for the cars to get off the racetrack. And the first win of the season for the 94 car. So bring it to victory lane. And there he is. Apex Sim Racer Jesse Whittington getting the victory. Hopefully he's able to bring it up here into the broadcast booth, but congratulations to him. First win of the season for the 94 car. Post-race interviews with your top 3 in just a moment. You are watching Apex Sim Racing Cup Series. It's race coverage presented by Homeman Motorsports. Right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to our post-race coverage presented by Bowman Motorsports. Apex Sim Racing in their Cup Series has concluded. Well, it was an eventful day here at Bristol. 154 laps complete into overtime. 13 cautions and 5 lead changes here today. Jesse Whittington finds his way from the pole. He didn't lead very many laps here today, but he led the most important one. He gets the victory in race number 4. Eric Kinder, who was looking for his second win of the season, he'll have to fall one short. He'll finish in second position. Eric Tracy with his first top 3. We'll get a word with those drivers in just a moment. Ray Rogers will finish in 4th position. Chris McLean in 5th. Top 5 for him. Excellent finish for the number 5. Elliott Carlson up 3 spots, up 18 for McLean. How about that? Biggest mover of the race, though, was the 21 spots gain for him. Eddie Smith will finish 7th. Jason Lottridge in 8th. Aaron Adcock in 9th position. AJ Rogers in 10th. Moving on to our next 10, we have Daniel Holcroft in the number 2. Chuck Feltz getting 12th position. Dylan Bates never could get back to the lead after getting that contact between him and Eddie Smith. He'll finish 13th. Cody Bame, early problems, and then secondary issues, 14th position. Brandon Wallace, a late race spin, 15th for him. Alan Smith, Anthony Edrington, Dana Shepard, who was in the top 5 at one point tonight, finishes 18th. Tracy Passons, also in the top 10. He'll finish in 19th. Matt Rogers, 20th. 8 more cars to talk about with Davey Jones. A lot of problems with the 10 car here tonight. Noah Carmen in the 14. He had to come down pit road quite a few times. Josh Oswald, surprising back here in 23rd. Christopher Henner, a lot of damage. Rick Rube got a piece of everything. Kieran Church, very damaged in the 22. Chuck Stevens never could get back out on the racetrack. And Christian Deadman behind the wall to finish this out, 80 laps down here today from Bristol. But with that, it's time to pull up our top 3, and we'll bring you your post-race coverage presented by Bowman Motorsports. First driver we're going to bring up into the broadcast booth, it's the 67 of Eric Tracy, who finishes in 3rd. You were up in the top 5. You were able to avoid a lot of the things that happened out here tonight, but you kept your car clean. One of the few drivers, I think, that ended up with less than a 2X here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I had my moments too. I self-spun once, so that wasn't ideal, but outside of that, yeah, I had a fairly clean race, and everything worked out well. I was pretty tight on that setup. I couldn't, as long as I could run around the top, I could run with everybody, but if I had to run the middle or bottom, I was in trouble. But we lucked out and managed to get it in the top 3.
Well, Eric, we go back to the start of this race. You started in third, you finish in third. Not a bad day when you consider the venue that we're at tonight.
No, I'll take it, and we'll consider it a good night and move on, and we'll see what happens from here on out.
Well, we have another tough track. It's the one that kind of goes as by too tough to tame, Darlington Raceway. Is there anything special for us here from the 67 team when we go there?
To be completely honest with you, I've only run that track like once or twice on iRacing, so if I can finish top 10, I'll probably consider it a good night.
Well, it sounds like some practice in your near future. Eric Tracy, congratulations on the top 3, though. I think this is the first time I've talked to you personally up in the broadcast booth, but congratulations on that. Anybody you want to shout out?
Just all the guys at Velocity. We have fun racing together. The night was a little bit rough for most of them, but good group. And then Aaron and everybody that puts on the league, and you guys for broadcasting it. It's fun to race.
Eric Tracy, top 3 finish. Started in the top 3, brings it home in the top 3. An homage to Rusty Wallace and that Miller High Life machine. Appreciate your time, Eric.
All right, thank you.
Moving on down pit road, we have another interview. It's Eric Tracy in the number. Well, I apologize, Garrett Kinder, that I need to pull up here in the 13 car. Got a little bit confused there, but nonetheless, Garrett, it's another podium day for the 13 car. You got to feel good about this. It's going to help you in the points tremendously.
Yeah, good points day overall. After a rough finish of the race, I was in pretty good points position last week and got tied up in that white flag dust up and lost a bunch of points. So glad to get a decent finish out of it. Can't be mad about how that ended up at all.
Oh, I want to go back. I popped into the chat there briefly and made mention of it, but it was about 400 feet that you needed that last caution to come out a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I don't know if 400 feet sooner would have been great or about 500 feet later. I would have had a run on the high side and been able to sneak back in front. But, I can't complain about it one way or the other. That's the same way I got the lead from Eddie. So, I snuck down on him and just nosed in front of him for the lead. So, turnabout's fair play. He raced me clean. There was plenty of chances where he could have got into me, shipped me into a turn. So, I'm all good with it now. P2 for me on that race was I had damage from a wreck early on that I nursed the whole race. So I'm thrilled with it.
Well, these cars look like they were a handful here tonight from one of the shortest tracks that we race at on this schedule. But Garrett Kinder, congratulations on this podium in second place. Anybody come to mind you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, of course, want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop. Thank my wonderful wife for letting me come and hang out with the boys on a Sunday night. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers, everybody over at VSRN. Man, I watch y'all's stuff. Even if I'm not racing it, I'll still sometimes tune in, and it's always top grade quality. So shout out to y'all. Aaron over here at Apex, Jimmy at Apex Sim Racing Gear for keeping the lights on over here, American Grid Apparel Company. Man, just everybody makes this thing tick. It's a good time over here. Just looking forward to carry some momentum for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's another aspect. Keeping the lights on, that seemed to be pretty tough this week for a lot of guys with the severe weather. I hope nobody you knew was affected by that, but it is that time of year. So stay safe. We look forward to seeing you next week at Darlington.
All right, sounds good, brother.
Garrett Kinder, second place finisher here today. And finally, we bring up Victory Lane. And, it's pretty awesome that they added the ability to drive into Victory Lane at this racetrack. They had it at Phoenix. Now they have it at Bristol. I think they should add it to every single racetrack. Heads up move there, Jesse, to know to be able to do that. But a little under the weather last week and a little bit overall. It was a rough race for you, but you recover in this one. And from the pole, you get the victory.
Yeah, last week, I definitely was not feeling my best. I was actually feeling even worse the next night, but it is what it is. But I made some mistakes. I wheel hopped and slid into Charles and then just missed my braking point because I cut the dog leg, which I hadn't been doing all night. And I feel horrible, but none of it was intentional. It wasn't trying to be dumb or anything, but to be able to come back out tonight feeling 100% and going out grabbing the pole, and faced a little bit of adversity, but like it definitely didn't come without challenges. But I just decided to come down pit road with about 75 laps to go, and I was like, if Eddie's been able to hold on this long, if I can get back up here, then I'll be able to hold on. So I knew the speed was there. It was just about capitalizing and doing what I could, and hey, it all worked out. I'm just happy to be in the playoffs and looking forward to how the rest of the season can go after this.
We talk about some of the tracks that are tough to get around. We have Darlington next week. It's another track that I've seen you perform on, but it is one of those asterisks in the schedule where it's unique and it's not a place that you can race like that anywhere else. What do we have in store for the 94 next week?
Hopefully we can come out there and put on another show. The Darlington is by far one of my favorite tracks. Mainly because you have to race the track, not the other cars around you. And the tracks where you have to sit back, take care of your stuff, and really be mindful through the race. That's those are the kind of races that I look forward to. Like Darlington, a lot of people are going to hate it. That's one that I have circled. So to be able to go into one of my favorite tracks and see how we can do there, already locked in. That's definitely gonna boost the confidence going into the race next week. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if everybody else is, but I am.
Well, I can tell you this: it's a good day at Darlington if you don't add any paint to the wall. So good luck on that. Jesse, we appreciate your time coming up here in the broadcast booth. We also appreciate giving that cinematic approach to Victory Lane. Is there anybody you want to shout out, though, before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, I got to thank my wife, my kids. They're always encouraging. Actually, I was streaming tonight, so I had my wife in the Twitch chat encouraging me, making fun of me a little bit for my faces that I make throughout the race and stuff like that. So I got to thank them. Never complaining about me coming out here and doing this, just having a good time and pushing me to do better. And of course, I got to throw a shout out to the sponsor that's on my car this week, Nubwo. It's a pretty cheap headset. It's actually what I'm wearing right here. Fairly cheap on Amazon, but you get like 100 hours of game time on a 3 or 4 hour charge. That's good in my book. Got to throw a shout out to -273 gloves. The league, of course, Apex. I've been running with them. I left for a little bit, came back, raced with them last season. It's always a good time over here. Of course, I got to throw a shout out to you guys, or you, for putting this show on every week. I'm excited to go back and watch this one and see how it ends up. And I think that's about it. I mean, all the partners with Apex and whoever makes this go around every week. I just enjoy it.
Well, I will add on to the end of that. Make sure all the cars are off the racetrack before you start celebrating next time.
Well, hey, whenever they come flying up from half a track behind me, I wasn't looking at that. I was just excited. Come on now.
Yeah, we had to make sure that car passed tech inspection tonight, but nonetheless, 94, congratulations on that, and we look forward to seeing you in 1 week's time.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a good night, man.
Jesse Winnington, victorious here from Bristol. He adds himself to the 4 drivers locked in to the playoffs. When we get to May, it's going to come down to that. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We have another one coming up in just a week's time. It's the track Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black in South Carolina. That will happen March 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to subscribe to V-Speed. You'll never miss a single race. Turn on those notifications, and we'll let you know when we go live here next Sunday at 9 p.m. For everybody who helped put this together, though, Aaron Adcock running Apex Sim, Eddie Smith, who referred me over here to this great group Adam Baker in the background doing a lot of work, making this thing look good. This is Bradley Cooper telling you so long from Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll see you in 1 week's time, next Sunday at Darlington. Until then, everyone, be safe, be happy, and stay tracking.